Every year, millions of people head to the beach looking to relax. But some of the world's most beautiful shorelines are also its deadliest. From shark-infested waters to venomous creatures and armed cartels, these beaches have claimed hundreds of lives. These are the 20 most dangerous beaches on Earth. Number 20, Playa Zipolite, Mexico. Playa Zipolite sits on the Pacific coast of Oaxaca, Mexico. It looks like a paradise. Golden sand, clear blue-green water, and a laid-back vibe that has drawn backpackers since the 1970s. But the locals have always known the truth. They call it La Playa de los Muertos, the Beach of the Dead. The beach is considered the deadliest in Mexico, claiming around 50 swimmers every year due to its powerful underwater currents. The water just offshore runs in circular patterns, creating rip currents and undertows that can pull even strong swimmers away from shore within seconds. There is no reef to slow the force of the ocean, so the waves hit the beach at full strength. A volunteer lifeguard team was founded in 1995, and after their first year of operation, drownings at the beach were cut in half. But rescues still happen every single day. Between 2007 and 2009, there were no drowning deaths, but lifeguards still carried out 180 registered rescues during that same period. The water at Zipolite doesn't forgive mistakes. Number 19. New Smyrna Beach, Florida, USA. New Smyrna Beach sits on Florida's eastern coast, just south of Daytona. It's a popular surf destination with warm water and consistent waves, exactly the kind of conditions that attract both tourists and sharks. Since the 1880s, the beach has recorded over 300 reported shark incidents, more than any other beach in the United States. Volusia County, where New Smyrna Beach is located, records more shark bites than anywhere else in the world. The strong tidal flow near the Ponce de Leon Inlet pushes large numbers of baitfish into the surf zone, and the sharks follow. According to the International Shark Attack File, anyone who has swum at New Smyrna Beach has likely been within 10 feet of a shark. Volusia County has held the title of Shark Bite Capital of the world for over 30 consecutive years. Most bites here are cases of mistaken identity, blacktip and spinner sharks hunting baitfish and accidentally snapping at a surfer's foot or hand. But that doesn't make it any less dangerous. Attacks happen year-round, and the beach shows no signs of slowing down. Number 18, Hanakapiai Beach, Kauai, Hawaii, USA. Hanakapiai Beach sits on Kauai's remote Nepali coast, reachable only by a 2-mile hike along the famous Kalalau Trail. The scenery is stunning, but the moment visitors reach the water, the danger becomes clear. The Nepali coast has no major reefs to slow the force of ocean currents, making Hanakapiai one of the most treacherous beaches in Hawaii. At the trailhead leading down to the beach, there is a sign that keeps a running tally of deaths. A local newspaper reported that approximately 30 people drowned at the beach between 1970 and 2010. The rip currents here are relentless. They move in multiple directions at once and can drag even a strong swimmer far offshore within seconds. The currents are so powerful that the bodies of at least 15 drowning victims have never been recovered. During winter months, the sandy shoreline disappears entirely, washed away by powerful waves and high tides. The beach essentially ceases to exist for half the year, replaced by raw ocean force. Authorities consistently warn visitors not to enter the water under any conditions, yet people continue to ignore the signs and continue to pay the price. Number 17. Fraser Island, K'gari, Queensland, Australia. Fraser Island, now officially known as K'gari, is the world's largest sand island and a UNESCO World Heritage Site off the coast of Queensland. It draws around 500,000 visitors each year with its white beaches, clear freshwater lakes, and rich wildlife. But beneath the paradise image lies a combination of dangers found almost nowhere else on Earth. Swimming in the ocean around Fraser Island is not recommended. The beaches are not patrolled by lifeguards, and dangerous riptides can frequently be spotted along the shores. Sharks, including great whites and bull sharks, frequent the area, And, during summer months, deadly irukandji jellyfish may also be present. There is no medical center on the island, meaning any serious injury quickly becomes a life-threatening situation. On land, the island's population of wild dingoes has a history of attacking humans. In April 2001, a 9-year-old boy was attacked and killed by 2 dingoes near Waddy Point on Fraser Island. In January 2026, a 19-year-old Canadian woman was found dead on a beach on Kagari, surrounded by a pack of around 10 dingoes. The island looks like paradise, but it has a body count to match. Number 16. Praia de Boa Viagem, Recife, Brazil. Boa Viagem beach stretches along the coast of Recife in northeast Brazil. 8 kilometers of wide, pale sand and warm water that once made it one of the most visited urban beaches in the country. Before 1992, it was considered safe. Then everything changed. The construction of Port Swap to the south disrupted the migration routes and feeding habits of local sharks, turning the beach into a hunting ground. Since records began in 1992, 64 people were attacked by sharks off Recife's beaches, of whom 26 died. The shark attacks in Recife have an unusually high fatality rate of around 37%, far above the worldwide average of approximately 16%. Bull and tiger sharks are responsible for most of the attacks, often striking in shallow water just meters from shore. Surfing is now banned at Boa Viagem, and warning signs line the beach. Lifeguards at the beach no longer train in the water. They now swim laps in a pool instead. Despite the restrictions, attacks have continued into recent years. The beach is still visited, but very few people dare to enter the water. Number 15. Cape Tribulation, Queensland, Australia. Cape Tribulation sits in far north Queensland, where the ancient Daintree rainforest meets the Great Barrier Reef. 2 UNESCO World Heritage Sites in one place. Captain James Cook named the cape after his ship ran aground here in 1770, and the name has proven fitting ever since. The beaches are stunning. They are also genuinely lethal. The waters are home to box jellyfish, which are present year-round but more prevalent from October through June. They are translucent and hard to see, and a serious sting can result in death. Saltwater crocodiles also patrol the shoreline and nearby river mouths, lurking in shallow water where visitors least expect them. Sharks are known to patrol the waters, and a man was killed by one in 2014. On top of the marine dangers, the land itself is hazardous. Venomous snakes, cassowaries, and wild boars all inhabit the area. A 2023 analysis by Weather.com named Cape Tribulation the world's most dangerous beach, citing its combination of lethal jellyfish, venomous snakes, crocodiles, and cassowaries. Visiting is still possible, but swimming in the ocean is strongly discouraged at all times of year. Number 14. Gansbaai, Western Cape, South Africa. Gansbaai is a small fishing town on South Africa's Western Cape coast, and for decades it held one of the most fearsome reputations in the world. The nearby Dyer Island is considered the great white shark capital of the world, and the waters around Gansbaai were so heavily populated with great whites that it became a mecca for shark cage diving operations. Since records began in 1905, there have been a total of 248 unprovoked shark attacks in South Africa, with the Western Cape recording 55 of them. South Africa's fatality rate from shark attacks is among the highest. Starboard began hunting and killing great whites in the area, causing many sharks to abandon their traditional territory. Since 2017, at least 9 great white sharks washed ashore at Gansbaai, missing their livers, and the danger has not disappeared. Number 13. Reunion Island, Indian Ocean. Reunion is a small French overseas territory in the Indian Ocean, roughly 700 kilometers east of Madagascar. For years, it was known for world-class surf and warm, clear water. Then, in 2011, the shark crisis began. Over the following 8 years, sharks attacked 30 people around the island, killing 11, accounting for 18.5% of all known global shark fatalities during that period. Since 2011, Réunion Island has had the highest number of shark attacks in the world relative to its population and coastline length. Bull sharks are the primary culprit, drawn close to shore by the island's geography and the growth in marine tourism. The attacks were so frequent and so deadly that the French government banned surfing and other water sports outside of protected lagoons in 2013. The island was the location of over 16% of the world's fatal shark attacks from 2011 to 2016. Mitigation efforts including drumlines, drone monitoring, and shark patrols have helped reduce incidents, and international surf competitions returned to the island in 2024. But the sharks never left, and the water outside the lagoons remains restricted. Number 12. Skeleton Coast, Namibia. The Skeleton Coast stretches along the northwest coast of Namibia for around 500 kilometers, where the Namib Desert meets the freezing South Atlantic. The indigenous San people called it the land God made in anger. Portuguese sailors marked it on their maps as the Gates of Hell. Both names were earned. The cold Benguela current creates dense ocean fog for much of the year, and there is constant, heavy surf on the beaches. Around 300 ships are recorded to have sunk in these waters, while evidence suggests another 200 vessels may have met the same fate. When ships ran aground, survivors who made it ashore faced a second death sentence. No water, no food, and no way out across one of the world's most inhospitable deserts. Those who survived the initial wrecks faced crossing the vast desert wilderness in search of food and water, and many perished in the heat. Today, the Skeleton Coast is a national park, and tourists can visit parts of it. But the ocean has not changed. The shifting sandbars, the powerful surf, and the dense fog still combine to make this one of the most treacherous stretches of coastline on Earth. The rusting hulls of wrecked ships poking out of the sand are a permanent reminder of what this coast does to those who underestimate it. Number 11. Chowpatty Beach, Mumbai, India. Chowpatty Beach sits at the foot of Malabar Hill in central Mumbai, one of the most densely populated cities on Earth. Millions of people live within walking distance, and the beach draws huge crowds, particularly for festivals like Ganesh Chaturthi. But the water is a different story entirely. The sea at Chowpatty is irreversibly polluted, and swimming is officially advised against due to fecal coliform levels 3 times the acceptable standard. Raw sewage, industrial runoff, plastic waste, and festival debris pour into the Arabian Sea at this location year-round. The sand has turned black in places due to oil exposure, and the pollution has heavily impacted the marine ecosystem. During monsoon season, the situation worsens dramatically as floodwaters wash additional waste directly onto the shoreline. The danger here is invisible. There are no waves to warn you, no fins in the water. Swimming at Chowpatty means swimming in one of the most contaminated bodies of water in the world, with high risk of serious illness from bacterial infection, gastrointestinal disease, and toxic exposure. The beach remains popular, but the ocean is a public health hazard that no one should enter. Number 10. Second Beach, Port St. John's, South Africa. Second Beach at Port St. John's sits on South Africa's wild coast in the Eastern Cape, a stretch of sand surrounded by green hills and warm water that was considered perfectly safe for over 100 years. Then, in 2007, the attacks began. Since officials began tracking the attacks in January 2007, all but one shark encounter at Second Beach has resulted in death. Second Beach at Port St. John's earned the reputation of being the most dangerous beach in the world for shark attacks after recording 8 fatalities in just 5 years. Every single year, from 2007 to 2012, at least one person was killed. The attacks were almost always fatal, driven primarily by bull sharks that breed in the nearby Umzimvubu River. According to the International Shark Attack File, no other beach in the world had more fatal shark attacks than Second Beach during that period. The beach was eventually closed by authorities to prevent further deaths. The absence of funded lifeguards meant that in at least one case, a victim's body floated in the water for 30 minutes before rescue arrived. What makes Second Beach so chilling is not just the death toll, it is the fact that no one knows exactly why the attacks started, and no one can say for certain they have stopped.